What up, y'all? As people who love motorcycles, what is our responsibility to the younger generation? That's what I've been thinking about today, and curious your thoughts. It is so good to be back on the bike. Was going for 10 days, Greece and Turkey, walking in the footsteps of the Apostle Paul. Saw some really neat things. I had the opportunity to stand in the center of ancient Corinth and to think about what it might have been like when the Apostle Paul was there. Got to see Philippi and walk on the same stones that Paul and Timothy and Titus and all those guys would have walked down to enter the city or to leave. And it was really neat, but man, I'm so glad to be home. As Dorothy said, there really is no place like home. Glad to be back on the bike today. I got home late Saturday night, landed in Charlotte at midnight, and so rested up Sunday and Monday. I was really looking forward to getting on the bike, but it rained all week long, and so today was the first chance to get back on the bike, and I am so thankful for the opportunity. But just before I left on the trip, a young friend of mine who just turned 18 reached out and is interested in buying his first bike and wanted to get together and just talk about my experiences and what advice I might share with him. And so it got me thinking about what our responsibility is to the next generation of bikers. I know that when I see kids at gas stations and different places around, they look at the bikes and they're so amazed, and I love to see that look in their eye and the curiosity on their face. And so whenever is possible, I often invite them to come over, and with the parents' permission, of course, to sit on the bike or maybe even fire it up and give it a couple good revs. Love seeing that look in a kid's eye that just wonders or dreams about what it's like to be on a bike, to feel that freedom for themselves. And so it's a freedom that most of us know and are familiar with, and one that I feel like we have a responsibility to share. Whether it's putting a kid on the saddle at the gas station or meeting a young person for lunch to talk about bikes and what wisdom you might share, what wisdom you might impart. And so this young man's name is Jack. He is training to be an EMT. He's in the Firefighter Academy, and just a super solid young man, a person that I've known for 7 or 8 years now, and very proud of the man he has become. And just excited for him as he is researching bikes and getting interested in buying his first motorcycle. And so I'm happy to meet with him and chat about that. And I'm just curious, what do you recommend when somebody comes to you and is interested in buying their first bike? What is your first bit of advice to them? I'm interested to know. Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to know what your bit of advice to new riders is. So we're going to meet Jack for lunch at a place called Tony's Pizza. Going to grab some za and have some good conversation. So thanks for tagging along. If you're still hanging around, I greatly appreciate your support. We're a relatively new channel here at RevMoto NC, and so every minute watched means the world to me. Certainly do appreciate you hanging around, and if you haven't already, would love to have you as a subscriber here on the channel. So hit that subscribe button, like the video, comment pieces of advice that you would share with new riders, and maybe even hit that bell icon so that you can be among the first to know when we drop new content. Lunch with Jack went well. I didn't record much of that conversation just because I wanted to uphold his privacy, and I knew he was a little anxious as a very new rider about not sounding like he knew what was going on camera, and so I wanted to respect that, be mindful of that. And so I didn't even bring out a camera at lunch other than to take some video of our delicious food. But the conversation went well. The couple of pieces of advice that I gave to Jack was, number one, the MSF course is invaluable. I did not take the MSF course as a new rider at 17 years old because I knew everything at 17, but I did take it with a friend a number of years later, and I learned a lot. I wish I had taken it sooner in my life, and so definitely recommended he do that before he does anything else. The other piece of advice that I gave was to not buy an inexpensive helmet right out of the gate, but to spend some decent money on a helmet. He's an EMT and a firefighter, so he gets that, he understands that, and is prepared to find a helmet that is quality. Something I'm real big on. If you've watched some of my other videos, you know I love when people complain about a full face helmet that's too heavy and uncomfortable, and then you learn that they paid like $89 for it on Amazon and then wonder why it's uncomfortable. So Jack and I had a great time. I hope that you have some great advice to share with me and with others in the comments below. Just so thankful, as I said before, to be back on the bike. I know this is a shorter video, but just wanted to get back in action, and glad to be home. 10 days is not that long, but man, it's a long time to be away from your family. Sure missed my wife and our 2 boys and just kind of being in a normal rhythm. I missed sleeping in my own bed. We were in different hotels every night in different places. We were on a tour bus a lot during the day, and it just was exhausting, and so I'm glad to be home. I hope wherever you are today, you're doing well, and hope until we meet again, you keep them revved up. Minds, bodies, spirits. We'll see you real soon. Take care.